Manitou Air Spring Service for Dorado Expert and Pro. This video covers the disassembly, service, travel adjustment, and reassembly of the air spring leg on the Manitou Dorado Expert and Pro suspension forks. If your fork is equipped with our IRT or Infinite Rate Tune secondary air spring, please review our IRT service video before proceeding. Assemble these tools and parts and let's get started. Remove the air cap from the top of the fork leg and release the air pressure using a shock pump. Ensure all air is released by gently depressing the air shaft with a 3mm hex wrench. Next, the air spring leg top cap needs to be loosened. Loosen the pinch bolt on the top crown with a 5mm hex wrench. Loosen the top cap with a 16-notch bottom bracket tool. Apply top-down force on the tool to prevent slipping. Loosen the pinch bolts on the lower crown and remove the leg from the fork crown. If the upper crown remains installed, slide the frame bumper off the leg simultaneously as the leg is pulled through the lower crown. Set the bumper aside to be used during reassembly. The ends of the Dorado sag guide can be used to spread the clamps apart to aid in leg removal. Lightly clamp the fork leg in a bike stand or soft jaw vise. Finish unthreading the top cap from the leg and pull the cap a couple inches out of the leg. Use a 13mm wrench and the bottom bracket tool to remove the top cap from the compression rod. Remove the leg from the stand. Pour the fluid out of the leg into a catch pan. Slide the inner leg out of the outer leg. Allow the outer leg to drain into a pan. Wrap the inner leg in a clean towel and clamp it lightly in the bike stand with the compression rod pointing up. Loosen the compression rod assembly from the inner leg using a 22mm wrench. Remove the compression rod. Carefully remove the backup ring and air piston quad seal. Use a plastic pick so you don't damage the piston. Clean the air piston with isopropyl alcohol. Then, lightly grease the air piston quad seal with slick oleum grease and slide it onto the air piston. Install the backup ring onto the air piston. The quad seal is to be oriented between the glide ring and backup ring. The Dorado can be internally adjusted from 180 to 190 to 203 millimeters of travel. With the comp rod assembly removed, locate the 16mm top-out nut and 20mm top-out screw on the comp rod. Loosen and unthread the nut from the screw, then slide them apart to reveal the retaining ring. Lightly splay the retaining ring to remove it from the groove. You can move it to the groove corresponding to the desired travel position. 203mm is the position closest to the air piston. 180mm is the position closest to the end cap. Rethread the top-out screw and nut over the retaining ring and torque it. Inspect the inner leg, inside and out, clean it and be sure it is free from debris and contaminants. Lube the threads on the inside of the inner leg with slick oleum grease. Lube the outer diameter of the air piston and fill the piston cup with 3 cc of slick oleum grease. Insert the compression rod piston first into the top of the inner leg. And add 1 cc of Manitou 5W40 bath oil. Use a 22mm curl foot to tighten the air spring end cap and torque it. Replace the O-ring on the top cap. Use a pick to remove the wear ring from the outer leg. Remove the springs from the lip of the dust seals. Use a downhill tire lever or similar tool to carefully pry the dust seals out of the outer leg. This may require some force. Be careful to not damage the leg. Remove the foam ring. Clean the seal bore and bushing thoroughly with isopropyl alcohol. Inspect the inside of the outer leg and be sure it is free of contaminants. Soak a new foam ring in Manitou bath oil. Place the ring in the bottom of the seal bore. Insert the new dust seal into the leg and use a 37mm seal press to press it completely into the leg. Lastly, install the wear ring. Coat the inside of the dust seal with slick oleum grease. Slide the inner leg into the outer leg so the end of the bottom of the air spring protrudes beyond the top of the outer leg. Reorient the outer leg in the stand with the top pointing up. Install the top cap onto the end of the compression rod. Use a 16-notch bottom bracket tool and a 13mm wrench to tighten and torque it. Inject 35 cc's of Manitou semi-bath oil into the outer leg on top of the inner leg. Lightly pull the inner leg to full extension so the top cap comes in contact with the outer leg. Start the threads by hand and tighten down the top cap to the proper torque. Fill the fork to the desired air pressure. Refer to the Dorado Setup Guide found at ManitouMTB.com for air pressure recommendations based on rider height and fork travel setting. You have completed the process of disassembly, service, travel adjustment, and reassembly of the air spring leg on the Manitou Dorado Expert and Pro. Damper leg service for this fork is covered in a separate video. Continue to our YouTube channel and ManitouMTB.com for more maintenance procedures and assembly instructions. Thank you for riding with Manitou.